The sky in GMOD was glitchy. Purple clouds rolled overhead, sometimes vanishing, sometimes flickering like they were trying to figure out which reality they belonged to. In the middle of a cracked road that led to nowhere, a group of wildly customized Sprunki avatars stood around the metallic skeleton of a train engine. It wasn't just any engine. It was Thomas, or at least, the version they were building to be Thomas. "Yo, Pinky, pass me the wrench mod," Ree yelled, balancing on one foot on the side of the boiler. Pinky, whose beatbox mod constantly played faint background bass from his speaker backpack, tossed it over. "You sure this thing's safe? Last time we used an asset from that cursed pack, it ate Thisto." "We don't talk about Thisto," Orin muttered, his eyes locked on the glowing piece in his hand, the dark engine core. He'd found it in a dusty forgotten GMOD folder labeled GM_abandoned_health2. Not suspicious at all. Together, they bolted the final piece into place. The train gave a metallic shudder. Its smile, already way too wide, twitched. "That's totally normal," Ree said, ignoring how the eyes turned to follow him. The crew climbed aboard the now fully functioning Thomas build, sitting on its back like a party float. As the Sprunki Cruise theme song started pumping from Pinky's portable soundboard, the train's wheels screeched and sparked, pulling them forward across the warped world of GMOD. "Next stop, the only place to be," Orin yelled, arms wide, leaning into the wind. "You mean the one with the floating disco room and trampoline physics?" Ree grinned. "Yup. Let's hope the ceiling doesn't fall off this time." Their path was anything but normal. They passed through crumbling towns built from half-loaded textures, skyboxes with holes, and NPCs standing stock-still, staring into space like forgotten dreams. But the energy on board was electric. The beat was building, the sky was breaking, and for a moment, just one perfect GMOD moment, it felt like anything was possible. It started small. The first to notice was Pinky. He tapped his foot off beat, confused. The background bass had shifted. There was something else layered beneath it. A low, mechanical growl. "Guys." "What?" Orin asked, still grooving in sync with the engine's rhythm. "I didn't load this track. Someone's overriding my soundboard." The others stopped dancing. The air got heavier. The wind dropped away. Even the code particles that usually drifted across the sky froze. Then Thomas blinked. Not the normal, cartoon blink. A slow, eerie, one-eye-at-a-time blink. His pupils dilated into red rings, and his mouth, static until now, twitched into something jagged and sinister. "Yo, Ree," Orin whispered. "Did you use the vanilla smile texture?" I thought I did." The train groaned like it was stretching after a long nap. Then, without warning, it launched forward, throwing everyone off except Pinky. "We've got a runner!" Ree screamed. Thomas, no, the cursed Thomas, was alive. And it had sound. Its whistle let out a corrupted shriek, half train horn, half monster scream. The ground beneath them cracked as Thomas tore through the map, twisting physics in his wake. Pinky bounced off a trash prop and landed on a trampoline surface, springing back to his feet. His speaker buzzed with static, then warped. "I think it's eating my music," he said, stunned. Ree was already booting up his counterbeat protocol. "We need to fight music with music. We can't out-beatbox a demon train," Orin snapped, ducking under a flying brick. "No," Ree said, "but maybe we can out-remix it." Cursed Thomas had begun twisting the map around him. Roads folded. Props floated. NPCs screamed with no mouths. The chase turned into a concert of chaos. The Sprunki crew regrouped inside a broken GMOD diner. Pinky scanned through tracks, Orin wired the power core from his portable editor, and relayed down a bass-heavy beat. As Cursed Thomas barreled toward the diner, the crew launched their countertrack. A powerful burst of synchronized beatboxing and melodic harmony blasted out into the map. Thomas staggered. His face flickered between corrupted rage and confused joy. "It's working." Pinky shouted. But it wasn't enough. Thomas let out one final, unholy scream, and snatched Orin off the ground. Orin woke inside a looping corridor of glitching train cars. The walls were black and red, the sound design warped and inverted. And at the end, stood cursed Thomas, whispering code in an ancient beat. "You left me unfinished," it rasped. "Now, I'll finish you." But Orin wasn't afraid. He clapped once. A small light blinked on his wrist. Sprunki backup protocol, booting. Outside, Pinky and tracked Orin's signal. They built a launchpad out of props, lit fireworks in midair to distract the train, and wired the counterbeat directly into the environment code. The final plan: turn the curse against itself. As the corrupted code surrounded Orin, his sound core burst open. He began beatboxing, raw, primal, real. His voice echoed through the train cars, breaking the loop. Outside, Pinky synced the signal. Dropped the final line, reset the track. Drop the beat. Rewrite the engine. The code surged. Thomas screamed. Then, silence. And slowly, from the wreckage, rose Sprunki Thomas, a transformed, rhythm-powered fusion of machine, beatbox, and light. The once cursed engine now had glowing blue graffiti-style panels, dancing LEDs, and a smile that actually looked cool. He looked at Orin and said, "Where to, maestro?" The crew climbed aboard Sprunki Thomas, riding through the final warp gate toward the one place no player had reached without glitches, the only place to be. It was everything they'd hoped for: a floating arena of infinite music, wild mods, dancing NPCs, and no rules. A place where Sprunkis were legends, and beatbox was the language of survival. As the credits of the world rolled in the sky, the four stood proud, riders of their own rhythm, rebels of corrupted code. And in the middle of it all, Sprunki Thomas blared out their anthem, shaking the whole map. Because in GMOD, you don't just build a train. You build a memory.